September 11, 2021. Guys, you're looking at the satellite images that are current now as of 5:41 p.m. Central. And a couple things we'll talk about here is one is you can see the wildfire smoke coming down over Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, drifting over into Texas, and you can see it really spreading out in thinner waves all the way over to Georgia and South Carolina through Alabama. Now, any of you guys have been noticing all day today that it was getting harder to see the clouds? Well, right now I think it's at its thickest point, because if you look outside now here in central Mississippi, there's just kind of a yellow sky and the sun's kind of orange. You can't really see the clear blue sky that was here earlier today that kind of had a mist in there. Right now it is really thick. Check it out there in the top central part of this. Amazing. I know it's not healthy, and you just don't see this that much here. But guys, down in the Bay of Campeche, right there is this system that has followed the last tropical system that comes across the Yucatan. But this one, as it crossed the Yucatan, it stayed south and again into the central section of the southern part of the Bay of Campeche. It's now, the path is the same, but it has been extended out further, and the U.S. Navy model called NavGem actually has it coming in the Sabine River, which is the border of Louisiana and Texas on the coastline. Now notice, Florida, you guys are kind of in the same situation you were just a week ago, that are with, I guess it's been about a week or so, but the tropical system's just sitting there and for a few days and sending all this weather over your way. Now we're going to look at the latest models and what we've got. And before we look at the wide Atlantic satellite image, I want to show you what the 5-day tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center down in Miami looks like. If you remember in the video last night, this system had was it 50 or 60% chance of development? But no, I noticed now it's 90% chance. But before I read that, I want to point out this cone right there only came to just about the Texas and Mexico border, just slightly above that. Remember, now it's extended up through the Texas coastline. And they're talking about the development will be determined if it stays close to the shore, kind of 1 foot on land, 1 foot into the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. But again, we're going to look at that. Now, this section here, 20% chance of cyclone formation over 5 days, has been there for a couple days. It's not quite in this yellow area yet. It's just to the right or to the east of it, and it's a wide area, and it's been dry, but it's been a very counterclockwise, pretty strong rotation there, and I think they're starting to pay attention to it now. And we'll take a look at the wide Atlantic satellite again. It says an area of low pressure is expected to form near the southeastern Bahamas in a few days. Gradual development of the system is possible thereafter as it moves northwestward across the western Atlantic. So, guys, when they start saying Bahamas, not Bermuda, but when they start saying that, Florida and the East Coast, you've got to start paying attention to it, okay? We're in the peak of hurricane season. We got a couple months left, so we expect the worst that can be thrown at us right now. Now, this is a 2 p.m. update. Notice that. And I think about 6 o'clock we should get a new update. And the hurricane hunters may be about to fly out towards the Bay of Campeche and check the storm out. Now, behind it, this storm, 70% chance. When it first was projected to come offshore, I said that because it was going to come across the Cabo Verde Islands, that it would more than likely end up in the northern Atlantic. And it looks like it's going to follow just what we saw in the last hurricane, Mindy. Move up and then go back up north. Another system here is a little lower. Hasn't come offshore yet, but that's why there's no X in the yellow. No X here in this yellow because the system is just behind it. But this has a 20% chance of development. It says a tropical wave is expected to move off the west coast of Africa in a few days. Some development of the system will be possible through the middle of next week while it moves westward across the eastern tropical Atlantic. Again, it's further south, and those have a better chance of remaining south and giving a threat to the U.S. Now, going back to the system we're watching, 90% chance of cyclone formation within the next 5 days. This wave in an upper-level trough continued to produce a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over portions of the southeastern Mexico and the southern and central Gulf of Mexico. You saw that throwing those clouds all the way over to Florida. The entire area is it's disorganized showers. But they're saying that although upper-level winds are not conducive for development currently, they are expected to become more favorable for the system during the next day or so. A tropical depression is likely to form on Sunday or Monday. Sunday's tomorrow, while the disturbance moves northwestward and then northward near the coast of northeastern Mexico. Further development will be possible through the middle of next week if it remains over water, and interests along the western and northwestern Gulf Coast should monitor the progress of this system. An Air Force hurricane hunter is scheduled to investigate the system tomorrow. Regardless of development, the disturbance is expected to produce heavy rain across portions of Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula through today, which may lead to flash flooding and mudslides. By late this weekend, heavy rain will likely reach portions of the western Gulf Coast, including, which was in the report last night, coastal Texas and Louisiana through the middle of next week. Localized significant rainfall amounts will be possible, potentially resulting in areas of flash and urban flooding. Now, as we see the sun setting, let's take a look at the wide Atlantic. And right here, you see this rotation? That is that section that's about to move very close to the Bahamas, and possible as 20 or 30% chance of development. But you can see it's a very large area. Check this out, guys. Right there. And in the last few images, you can see that it's picking up some of the storms coming off the islands, and that may help it, depending on high pressure system, develop into more of a storm that has moisture involved. That's the key there. And so that's why they put that percentage of the chance of percentage of development up as they have. Now back here over the Cabo Verde Islands, which are right there, is this storm again. Looks like it's going to move here and maybe turn north even sooner than Mindy did. Now also onshore on Africa, here is a system they're watching that it is going to come off the African coast and be south of this storm over the Cabo Verde Islands. There's expected to be a good bit of high pressure over the Atlantic, and that could keep the second storm traveling more westward instead of northwestward like the top storm is going. But again, top left center here, this will be our next tropical storm, more than likely. And it's, again, we'll look at the Navy model, which shows the probable impact, and it kind of matches the National Hurricane Center's red cone of where the storm is going. Now, these are current model projections from the U.S. Navy's NAVGEM model. And notice here the storm goes right up the coast of Mexico and Texas and enters and comes ashore right about the Sabine River right there and moves north through Louisiana. We know this is going to change somewhat, guys, but Navy model is 99% accurate once they start watching something and paying attention to it. So that's what we're watching. So, again, the National Hurricane Center's red cone that they showed that went past the Mexican-Texas border now would follow this very well because it ended there. It didn't show the storm continuing past that central Texas coast point. So we're going to be watching this, guys. You watch it. If the smoke continues as thick as it is, think about an actual use for a mask if you have to. If you got to be outside working a lot, you don't really want this in your lungs. And you could taste it today, and you could just tell it was in the air. But we're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.